In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 2 stocks to keep in your watch list. They are setting up to make a huge move tomorrow, and we're going to talk about them in great detail. We're also going to address the overall market because a lot of buying volume have been kicking in today. We're going to look at what to expect tomorrow. And one more thing, I'm going to be answering some of you guys' questions like we always do here on this channel. Alright, y'all, let's dive right into it. Right off the bat, we got the Nasdaq futures. We're gonna use the Nasdaq futures once again. Like I mentioned in the last video, which was released on, I believe, Monday night. I told y'all that the bottom was in. I told you guys that the bottom was in. This right here that you see are a lot of dip buyers, and they stepped in. They're holding the market up, and it took about 48 to 72 hours to really solidify that bottom. Like today was the day where we finally saw a big push. First, we have the little spike pre-market at 7:30 after some report was put out, and then we see a fall back into this region right here before the big push in the morning, and it just kept grinding higher and higher and higher. I'm not bearish at all. Like I told you before, I'm not changing my stance. I think the bottom is in, and I think we're about to be bullish for a few more days. So for tomorrow, the daily chart is looking pretty good. I think we break through the 9 SMA tomorrow, and we go all the way up to 18,975. Right here. This is where I think we're gonna end up tomorrow, and then on Monday we're probably gonna continue higher to 19,500. All right, but for now, again, we're gonna take things day by day. So for tomorrow, just expect that move up here. All right, now another reason why I believe that we're bullish, we're gonna look at the VIX. I know one of you mentioned the VIX, so we're gonna touch on that right now. So this is the VIX. This is still circled. Lots of markets dip buyers or VIX short sellers. All right, and it's looking kind of weak. This has the structure of a massive bubble, which I like, especially when I'm trying to go short. But since we're discussing the VIX again, what typically happens is that there is just a fade from here all the way down. Like I tried to bounce on the 7th because there was a little bit of a sell-off in the markets. But ultimately, it's still rolling over. It would just be a matter of time before it actually drops down to 20 bucks. As you can see, this alert set right there. I think it's going to ring, maybe even tomorrow. That alert might ring tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Now, the first stock that y'all should be keeping in your watch list that is set to explode. That stock is none other than Caterpillar. All right, now with Caterpillar, I got like maybe 2 reasons, maybe 3 reasons, all right, to share this one with y'all. I think it's gonna make a huge move because number one, they had earnings and it survived earnings. They actually had an earnings beat on that day, on the 6th. All right, and it's been uptrending since Monday. We're gonna dive deeper into it. Well, actually, wait, before we dive deeper, looking over here, yeah, it's bouncing off the 200 moving average, just like the Nasdaq. That's fine. Now let's dive deeper. We're gonna look at the 1 hour, and with the 1 hour, there's a bullish pennant on there. Somebody could argue that it's kind of narrow, but it's there. Therefore, it's good enough for me to share this in today's video. I'm sharing it into this video because when a stock crushes earnings and survives, the candles tend to get longer and longer the following days, which is phenomenal, especially when you're trying to make some money. After hours, it looks like the ask is at 341. As we get closer towards the open, the spread, meaning the difference between the bid and the ask on the actual stock, is gonna start to shrink, and hopefully it shrink to the upside towards 341, where we can see this thing open up here right at 341, and then we see a big push out the gates, to where that alert is, right there. All right, watch it for a move all the way up to 354. All right, minimum a retest of these highs, minimum. Okay, so that's the first stock to keep on watch. The second stock that I want to share with all of you, that one is more of a tech stock, a big tech. That one is Apple. All right, now with Apple, we're gonna wait until it's done loading. There it is. So this is Apple. First and foremost, a drop with the overall markets. All right, secondly, Apple also had earnings, and the reaction to earnings was not terrible. Keep in mind, earnings was in between this day right here. So the reaction to earnings was not bad. It opened up higher. And obviously with the selling pressure of the Nasdaq and QQQ and SPY, it sold off during that day and formed a bearish engulfing candle. All right. Let me zoom in here. Let me get into the 10-minute and let's see. Okay, so the bearish engulfing candle happened first, and then it had earnings, survived, and then the sell-off happened. Okay, all right. But the reason why I want to share it in today's video is because there is a structure on there that is looking quite clean. It's on the 1 hour. We're gonna zoom in right here. The structure is right there. There's an ascending triangle on the chart. I love how these points are connecting perfectly to the exact sense. I absolutely love it. This little outlier kind of makes me mad, but I don't think it's gonna stop the stock from running. It's just a tiny outlier. Like, it's probably the only like minuscule flaw that I see with this chart. This tiny little wick right there. All right. But I digress. Watch this one for a long. Tomorrow, the futures is a little bit high at like 0.22%. Tomorrow we could open up even higher at like maybe 0.4%. Again, like I told you guys with the Nasdaq, the target for NQ is 18,900. All right, so with this one, watch it for a break of 215. We want to hear that bell ring, and when it rings, what should happen is the price should spike all the way up to 220 bucks. All right, it might just take maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half in order to get to 220, but I strongly believe that it's going to get there. And this structure right here hasn't given me a reason to believe that this is a fake. All right, and plus Apple, a very huge market cap, like a big cap stock, follows the Nasdaq sometimes quite closely. Today, the Nasdaq actually outperformed Apple, surprisingly. All right, surprisingly. But tomorrow things it could follow it more closely, especially if we push higher. So watch Apple for a long to that little green circle right up here. Now, let's answer some of you guys' questions, like we always do here on this channel. Like I said before, don't be scared. If you got questions, drop them in the comment section and I will address them. Somebody asked me to look at the oil sector, XOM. And XOM, this one moved up very well. You asked me that question right here on Monday, I think. And throughout that whole day, it's just been trading sideways. When the candles are really small, I don't typically trade. I really do very little. Like when the candle starts to look like these small little dojis, very annoying. You don't want to get involved until the stock itself shows signs that the candles are getting like bigger. And today is the day where it actually started. As you can see, the body of these candles, these three candles actually, the body of this big one is bigger compared to the last three, which is a good sign. These are what I'm talking about. Also, the volume at the bottom, I see right here 13 million, another 13 million, and then this is almost 14 million. It's slightly increasing, which is another good sign. Overall, resistance is right up here. Could it retest it? I think it could, especially if the Dow Jones runs. This one could also run as well. Let's see here. Another stock in the oil sector is Oxy. And Oxy actually survived earnings, as you can see, which, again, after earnings, candle starts to get a bit bigger, and also the volume starts to increase a lot. So this is definitely something that you want to watch, especially for the person who asked about the oil sector. It's bouncing off of support, which is right there. All right, it bounced right off of it. So I think it has more room to run. Now, the next one that we're going to look at is we're going to do an update on MU, because that's the stock that I shared last time. All right, I told you I'll watch it for a move up to 100. And unfortunately, the stock went nowhere. It's kind of annoying. I know. It's very, very annoying. The structure, like I told y'all yesterday, it was there. Was it the cleanest? No, it wasn't the cleanest. I've seen better. Like the one, like the one that I've shown y'all with Caterpillar. All right, it's much better than this narrow. This is super narrow. All right, and it really couldn't push above 95. It really couldn't. But tomorrow might be the day. So if you have calls on it, I still believe they can climb. I still believe it can climb. There is a new structure on there. Right here, I see two structures actually. So first, there is the bull flag, or somebody might call it a megaphone pattern, because these lines are kind of like going in. They're going in the same direction, yes, but this one is slightly lower, like it's slanted more downward, right? And with this one, usually what you want to see is you want to see this thing break. And as soon as it breaks, we can expect a similar price action like this, all the way up to 100, maybe even higher towards 103. So it's still in play. All right, so that's the first structure. The next one that I see, I'm going to erase all of it, and then we're gonna look more on the 4 hour. And on the 4 hour, it's a very sloppy double bottom. This is kind of in a way, but this is the double bottom that I'm talking about. I'm gonna use the rectangle. There you go. We got one bottom. We got two bottom. These two bottoms are on the same level. This one, not so much. Neckline right here. And a break of that, and all of these short sellers who got in short, hoping for a move down to 80, they're going to cover. All right, that's trading psychology. They cover, and then the stock pushes even higher. So be on the lookout for it. As long as it doesn't drop back down below 91, I'm still bullish on the stock. So that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button. As always, I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 10 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. All right. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul and Guman at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in Sunday night's video.